Welcome to Vision Chat, a podcast about spiritual topics, with your hosts, Virginia and Stina.
Hello and welcome back to Vision Chat. Today, Virginia and I are going to interview the fabulous An-Magritt from Norway, which is my aunt and is also a EFT therapist. She has been a teacher and a nurse too. She has written different books and have a wonderful Facebook page that she shares videos of herself giving you advice how you can use EFT. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and she is one of the strongest and wisest ladies that I know. And thank you for being on the show again, now in English.
Thank you so much, Tina and Virginia. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you for the introduction. It was off the top, so that was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's the truth, so
I would say the same to you back.
thank you. Do you want to start tell a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I can start. You introduced me as An-Magritt Riise. I live in one of the coldest places in Norway called Tynset. And I have been working as an EFT practitioner for almost 8 years, I think. I am also a nurse, as you said, and I've been working as a teacher for many, many years. So that's my input here. And I have had a lot of clients, and I think my topic are always going back to trauma, to try to go back to traumas in life and see if you can pick them up, and then you can finish them in a way. Or you can go back and then you proceed is the best word to use. Proceed the things that is still stuck in your body. And clients come to me with the different symptoms, and often it is anxiety. And it can be people have been struggling for many years, so they are exhausted and they don't find out what to do with the anxiety or together with depression. That's the two main things that also stick together as a symptom. I think that's the best way of talking about this topic or what I'm doing. And most of the times when you start to proceed, you go back and you go back and you go back to the time when this problem started to be a problem. You can see it's things that's happening outside the clients, or almost always something happening, and it starting to be a problem after a while.
Can I ask, there are so many therapies out there to treat trauma, anxiety, and depression. What called your attention to EFT specifically? What did you like about it, or why did you decide you would focus on that?
Previous, I have been looking for treatment for my own problems is the way into it, and I was very exhausted for many years. I was very I was laying in bed like I was not functioning at all, and I was trying to find something that could give a meaning to what was happening inside of me and how to get out of it again. So I tried many workshops, I found very many things on the internet that I could follow, like a lot of energy work and a lot of very good practitioners that could give something to help me. And in that process, I also went to a workshop that was doing a lot of to stop the energy leakage. You can say that you give a lot of energy out, and you are not able to keep it to yourself. So that was the start of it, and everything is energy. It applied to me to go into that prospect that everything is energy, and the body you can do a lot of things yourself to stop the energy leakage, and that was the first thing I discovered then on my way. And then I got into the part of looking at the fear, the power of fear in the body, and how it sticks, and how you can stop the fear from being how you could go into and find it's a little bit different thinking that you can say you have a happening, a thing is happening, and that is energy, you know, and before you have the reaction, you can do something in between the happening and the reaction, and that's applied to me, that you can do something in the energy that's going from the situation to the response. So that applied to me, and that is what EFT actually do. It's doing work in the energy system in the body, so that you don't have the reaction so much. So that was the start for me. That made sense, and it also made sense that I was looking for something that I could do myself. I was thinking, I am exhausted, I have done, and maybe it's some inner work that's causing this exhausting. Other people experience the same things as I have experienced, and they don't go exhausted. So I had to stop this propelling making of exhausting. And I thought I was very determined that if I could make this exhausting, I could remake it. And everything is inside work, and everything is energy, thoughts, physical, psychological is also, it's all energy that you can do something. And also EFT is body work. You can come in contact with your body as well as your thoughts, and that you do above and below the neck. So that's applied to me then. That's my short story way into this therapy. I haven't found anything that makes so big difference so quickly as EFT does. So I'm open to looking at different kinds of energy work, and I apply it and I understand it, and I'm grateful. In my work, I use most EFT then.
I love your explanation of using energy and how you're saying everything is energy. Some people, you know, like in the spiritual world, use that same explanation to learn how to meditate and learn how to even do readings and look at problems through that lens of looking at everything as energy. So if everything is energy, then we can read anything. And by reading, I mean like looking at psychically, getting images in your mind or feeling, sensing something. Do you use any kind of like spirituality in your work? Do you use like guides, angels, or any kind of spiritual work?
Yeah. When I'm really stuck and I'm doing EFT, I can give you an example. I only use help me. I only do the tapping points and I say help me. And in that, I have a consciousness of that. I know my being knows. My thoughts don't, but whole my being knows something that I don't know. And the answer is going to unfold if I ask for help. And that's helped me so many times. So I'm using, and that is a way of letting go of control, trusting that you have everything you need for every purpose in your life, present in yourself or outside yourself, whatever is connecting to you, you have the resources. And I think I use that for both the spirituality, if you can say, if you can name it. I think the connection, I think memories, connection to people, what you give out, what you receive from other people is also in that energy, what do you call it? All in energy field of everything. So, and I think I use the spirituality in the way that I trust that trust, or in another way, I trust that everything is in order in some way, if that makes any sense. Yeah. And I also, I learn from other places that I can connect if I'm like down in energy. You can uplift, you can ask for the light, you know, and that helps. you have used that yourself, I know. And you can connect, and it's I can have resistance to it, but if you allow it to happen, you can also receive some good things. And that's also the same as asking for help in some way. Ask the universe or ask something for letting the light into you. And also I use also to be connected to the earth. When I direct the thought that I can do that, I can do that. When I'm not thinking about everything else, and I have some restriction, and I have the procrastination and everything, you know, if you just sit still and you decide that you can ask for help or it will come to you. So yes.
I think letting go is the hard part, right? The resistance.
It is so hard sometimes, even though I know about the EFT, and I can go and struggle. I can be really angry at something or struggling with something, and it can go 2 weeks and it's solved, you know, and I can think back, why didn't you use EFT? Why didn't you use the tools that you have?
Trust us, we do the same thing. Stina and I are always like, we have the tools, we know what to do, and we don't do it.
Yeah, you don't do it because I want to stay angry, or I want to yes, it's something, it's like we are. Yeah, it's human.
Yeah, it's almost like you forget everything.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything you learned is like
Yeah.
out the window.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's yeah. You can look back and laugh at yourself, but in the volcano, you are not listening to anything else that you're.
Do you feel like you had some of the tools that you have right now when you were younger? Like same with asking for help or asking the universe or the light to come down?
Yes, I think so. My parents were very back to basic people. They came from an older time. I think when I was younger, I also had a lot of fantasies and a lot of troubled mindset. So yes, I can think so. I think I've been, and I brought in some of being accepted was also something that was very good in that way, because I think I thought I might be a little bit more. What can you think about? I think I've always been like this, that I am now. I always think I have had this feeling of existence is like this, and connecting to the nature, to things that's outside of you, that you can react on things that's happening to you, and that's not something that you just can think. You feel it, and you struggle to find an answer and everything like this. I think I've been a wandering wandering child in my youth. Oh yes, I think so. Yeah. Thinking, asking questions, all that. Ah, yes, yeah. So I think it's always been there. I don't feel otherwise now when I think about energy work and everything, like connecting and everything like this has always been like this. Maybe I've been more easily anxious because I've been occupied by these things early on. So it's also a little bit frightening when you are young. It's frightening in a way. You sense a lot of things. It might be because of external things happening that you are more sensitive. I don't know why this is, but yeah, I've been like this all the time. Like the antennas have been on from the start.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. Do you have any stories that you want to share about your childhood?
I've been in and out of fantasy, I think. And I also put it in the right context. But I think later on in life, I know that I was present as a child in a family and I saw someone. I thought a man was with us, and it came later in life that he had already passed at that time. He was passed for a few years ago, and I think I saw him, but maybe I remembered him. I don't know. But something like this, okay, maybe. When you're young, you have no filter, so that might be something. But I think mostly, I think my fantasy or my thoughts and my feelings had some. Yeah, I think not especially, not any other special stories I can think of.
Do you think that as a child, like you're saying, I feel like I had like a big imagination is I think what I would say like as a child. So I would imagine things. But
Yes.
when you're a kid, like you said, you're just like, you don't really think about things that much. It's just like you accept more
Yeah.
easily, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're not afraid or you don't have those reactions like you do when you're an adult. Like when you're an
Yeah.
adult and you're thinking, you're like more logical and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. If something doesn't make sense, maybe it scares you or but I wonder if like the imagination is something like you were saying, we're all more sensitive as children. And so we just accept that it's, oh, I'm in a fantasy world or I'm imagining things, but maybe we were actually being sensitive to, spirits or angels or, souls or whatever you want to call it, energies.
Yeah, I think so as well. Compared to now, also as an adult, many of your people have passed away, and it's also that you are connected to them without fear, as you can talk to them as you don't see them. You have them close to you. I think that's almost the same part as what you said now, Virginia. But when you are child, you go in and out of this fantasy, and you mix a little bit more without borders. But you can recognize it when you have talks to your past ones in adult life.
Now, I have had the privilege of working with you. You helped me out and we did some sessions, some EFT sessions together. And I just want to share with everyone that you are really amazing. And I really mean that genuinely from my heart. You are an amazing person and you're very talented and very gifted. And, like I could sense that you're doing the EFT, and so that's something you went and got training for, and you learned it, and you got your license and the whole thing, okay? The part that I don't think, and I don't know, I'm not an EFT expert, so I don't know, but I don't think they teach the part of the sensing and intuition, because I feel like that's something either that you cultivate within yourself or you don't. And some people are more in touch with their intuition than others. And some people let themselves be guided by their intuition more than others. So in my experience with you, I felt like there were times when you were almost channeling something, like information, or you were getting guidance, because I could almost see it. And it is amazing. I mean, I have to tell you, it really is amazing. Because it's something you can't really even fully put into words to explain what it is. It's something you have to experience. So I hope people have an opportunity to get classes with you, to get, like sessions with you, so that they can experience this for themselves. Because it is truly like a healing experience. Like you went through the whole tapping thing and everything with me, but it was, and that was great. But it was more the things that you would, like, I think, receive this intuition about, and you went to these places where I'm like, wow, how did she get there? So I was amazed. Have you had clients, and you don't have to give specifics, but like, have you had clients that had reactions that were like, maybe after the session said, hey, how did you know to ask that? Or how did you know to go there? Because I wasn't even fully aware.
Thank you for asking, Virginia, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for the compliment. I'm always in tears for hearing you say that, because that's so much. But again, thank you. The same back to you. And you did allow me to. You did allow me to. And as you go along with this work, and you also feel the clients allow you to, then you also get some information maybe that comes to you. I always have when I work, I always wait until I know that things will unfold. If things are ready, they will unfold. And I trust this more and more after doing this for a lot of times as well. And sometimes, like you say, sometimes I have thought about this, because when I'm working, I am on the tip of saying some words, and then I say, no, wait, it will come. And that can be caused of experience, because when you are working with clients, something is similar and you recognize, and it's similar like this and this. But I know what you are talking about as well. Sometimes you are connected a little bit ahead. And this is the similar, that I wait a little bit and then it comes. So that might be something you don't learn, but maybe it is a training that is built in your experience and allowing, because you don't know. I don't know what you are struggling with, and I don't know where to go sometimes, but you have to wait until the words come, and then you have association, and then the other one have an association. And sometimes you almost like two people can guide each other to a good solution, and it's not. And we thought, I've been working like a teacher as well, and we called it like what you call it in English, you call it a silence knowledge. It's not to put in words. You cannot write it down what it is. It is silence, and it comes from somewhere. Experiences. It's like you can have a recipe, and you can make 2 cakes, and they are different. You are doing the same thing. You are the same person. You do the same thing, and it is different, and you can't explain it. Somehow, it's mixed. But I thank you for saying what you do, Virginia. For it's an honor for me to hear that as well, because you are just so generous. You are so generous a person to locate this and tell it.
it's just such like you said, it's like this a thing that I can't put into words, but it's like you're saying that it's like coming together and being able to just kind of almost blend energies in a way, because for me personally, we were talking about some very vulnerable, difficult things. To open up to that is really challenging and very scary. But allowing that to happen and then trusting each other and then you being guided to help me, and then this beautiful like healing experience happens. And it is very like it's energy, it's spiritual, it's so many things going on at once.
It's so many things. I agree. It's so many things. Yeah. And it's very good to see that it is happening, and also that you can believe that it was so scary to start with, when we are unfolding something that you don't want to go there, but if you're just unfolding it carefully, and then you come to the inner thing, and then it can unfold, and you look at it and you say, oh, this was only this. That's the gold that I am digging for the client to see. Okay, when I come to the root, it was only this. It was not so scary at all. And that's the amazing moments. So, but it can only happen when you are going slowly and in our own pace, not too fast and not too direct.
Well, that's the other lovely thing about you. I'll just quickly say that, you also are, I think, very much in tune with the length of the sessions. So like when you're doing a session, I feel like you either, you can say, okay, session's going to be an hour, but the truth of it is that it could be an hour, 20 minutes or 45 minutes, because it's not the length of time, it's what's happening in the session and what you're sensing. Okay, I think, and you've told me this during sessions, I think we've done enough for today. And I was like, oh, thank you. Because I can't do more. I'm not saying anything because I don't want to be rude, but like, I think you're like, okay, I think you've had enough for today. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness, thank you. And there were other times where like, okay, we were kind of like, okay, we need to get to what we need to get to. And again, we're not telling each other this, but it's like, let's go there. Let's go over the hour. I'm going to stay with you until you get to a good place, and then we can end it. So that's also very nice. That's a very special thing about the way that you do your sessions as well.
Yeah. Usually, you shouldn't do too long sessions. Sometimes some people do short sessions and get to the point very quickly. I'm like more the person that going around in circles until things unfold, and maybe it's too heavy to unfold for one session. So I'm like using time person. And that's also a respect for the clients, not to jump into something that's totally unacceptable to dive into too quickly. It's powerful, and it's yes, it's important. I also give enough length of time, enough to close up in respect for the body that has been proceeding all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff that's proceeding during a session, and then have enough time is, I think that's a respectful thing to do. Yeah. It's and every time everyone has their own pace.
I feel like that is so important, to look at the person that is doing it and what they need. And also, I remember you talked about it's like peeling an onion. You have different layers to the core or the issue, and you peel and you peel and you peel, and suddenly it's like gone, or you're done with the the peeling.
Mm.
Or like a table that you take the legs off the table.
Mm.
So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, you use the metaphors in EFT. You have like the table metaphor is like you have a problem, you're coming, you can say, it's very common to say, I don't feel enough, I don't feel good enough. That's very common, and it's in every work that you do. And sometimes I ask, what is the proof of that? What have you experienced that proves that you don't feel enough? And that's the way we go. And on the rooftop or in a tabletop, there are, I'm not good enough. And then you start to look underneath it, and you look at the stories that you have experienced, and then you peel the onion, you know. You look at the story time that I really got that addresses this feeling, and then you go peeling more and more similar stories until you get to the root. You have enough people telling you, or enough stories telling you that something must be wrong with me, I'm not good enough, you believe it. And to unfold this belief system, you have to go and find what are the proofs. Where are the proofs that has given this proof for me?
I feel it's so interesting too when you're going through a session and how you can feel it in your body and feel the different feelings too. And while you're working, it will kind of change places in your body, change different feelings. And it's like I don't know, you have to do it to experience it, but it shows also how much the body is actually holding on to and how stuck it can be.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything you feel is misinterpreted or any misconceptions when it comes to energy work or the EFT?
Yes, I always have problems to explain what it is. That's the first one. And as you say now, Stine, that's very important, because energy work are strong, are powerful work. And when you let the body answer to your thoughts or to your mind, and you do the tapping like we do in EFT, you invite the body to express this feeling, you know. And when you tap, like you said, it will unfold more powerful. And that's why I say I use gentle work, because sometimes it can unfold and be stronger, and that's what you don't want to, you know. If you are afraid, you don't want to feel it strong. If you feel it in your gut, but that is the part of the work as well, because when you open it up, you open up the channels in your energy system, and it will unfold, and it will work its way through the body like it should be. When it's stuck, it is stuck, but when the energy is moving, it will go out of the body, and then you feel it in different parts of the body. It can start here in the heart, for instance, and it can unfold to the ribs, and then you can suddenly feel it in your neck and out of your it's amazing how this happens. And it's just that you make it moving, and then you feel that the feeling decreases as it is moving around in your body, and in the end it feels its ways out. You can say it goes out by your toes or something. It doesn't, but you know the meaning. You open up and you see what this is, and then you use the tapping to help the channels in your body to find the way out. The body knows where it's going. Body knows where all the feelings, thoughts, and the memories and everything is stored. So it knows where it is the best way out, and it's the safest way out. And as you say, Stine, when the happening are so strong in the memory and the feelings are so strong, you think it can't go anywhere. But when you start, and then you see it just start to unfold, it's like, and it's out of the body, it's almost like you forget it. And you can reopen the happening, you can reopen the memory and everything, and you can look at it. Oh yes, that was very unpleasant, but it was not like when you opened it up and you think that this is the worst thing ever. So that's a good way of explaining it. You open up and you feel it different parts in the body, and it also happens. You can say an example, for instance, if you're holding back a lot of anger or a lot of things you are going to say, you can, and when you're working with EFT, you can feel it in your throat, and that's because the words are forming in the throat, and you are also holding back the words in your throat. So that's energy sitting right where it's supposed to sit. If you have a person pain in your neck, you will feel it in your neck. If you are heavy loaded, you will usually feel it in your back. If you are doing a lot of work, you will also feel it a lot in your arms. If you are not going anywhere, you are stuck, you can feel it in your hips and your knee. And if you are really, really afraid, you feel it very much in your stomach. And that's what you do when you're doing the energy work with EFT as well. You feel it where it is stuck. And where the body is trying to protect you, holding it for protection as well.
It's so beautiful the way you describe it, like how it works. And also that you are gentle with the clients that comes to you and you are kind of adapting to them. I think there can be some therapists out there that can be like, oh, but you have to just do this and you will be healed in one session. And for some people, that's not really, they're not gaining from it. It might can cause like more damage than healing, I feel like.
That's so true, Stina. Yeah, that's so true. Sometimes you can do the EFT work as well, and you get good results in few sessions, and depends on what you are dealing with. And sometimes the peeling of the onion can take a very long time because the body's keeping it, and it's keeping it, and you have to like asking the body so many ways and so many times to even be thinking about letting it go sometimes in the future, and you're going from there. So it can take time, but it's rewarding when you can get let go of something that's been holding in your body for a very long time. And and also for the future, it will be a health gain in giving, because we know that things in the body accumulates. You can operate with a trauma from childhood in your youth and in young adult, but as the years go on, it will accumulate because the body is collecting experiences like the trauma, and it will pile up, and it will be like a muscle. It's going to be stronger and stronger, and it gives symptoms of diseases in the end. That's like anxiousness popping up. You have pain is piling up, and you get reward if you go back and do something with the piling up stuff in your body. So relief is a health insurance for the future, I will say. And it's never too late to do something. And as you say, Stine, it's not a quick fix. It's not, you can do something like this. And I also think, am I never going to be, do I have something left? Yes. The life is like that. But if you do the most painful things that's happening, you can, that gives reward.
It's amazing how sometimes you don't even realize how painful something is in your body until you do this kind of work and you're releasing it. And you're like, oh my God, that I didn't realize how heavy that was or how much pain that was because it's been there so long. That you learn to get used to it. You almost sometimes don't even feel it fully until it's gone.
Yeah. And the best thing when it's gone, you have forgotten what it was. You actually almost have forgotten what it is. What it was,
I love what
how it looked like, or how
I
it felt
love
like.
that
Yeah.
you said when you release it, you can imagine all this heavy stuck energy going out through your toes. I love that.
Yes, it's like you start here and yeah.
I'm gonna picture that now.
Yeah,
Next time I do.
yeah, do that. Yeah, now it's in the arms. Okay, it's in yes,
An-Magritt,
yes.
is there anything else that you want people to know about working with the EFT, working with you?
I usually don't want to use one session for a person because that's a false promise, I think. And sometimes you can feel a little bit ease and then it's coming back because things that's not fully addressed are coming back. So I think you have to be interested in doing a lot of work to have some yes, to have a benefit from EFT. A lot of people do this tapping thing and they think, oh yes, I tried this one and it helps me. Yes, but it's not gone. No, because it's a subtle work that's have layers, and that's the important thing, I think. I also, if you are interested and people around you are going to do you to make you feel well, that's the opposite of EFT, because then you have to do the inner work yourself, and you can get help from a therapist, but it's a work that you have to you can't skip away. You can't you can't leave it. You have to do the work. You have to be persistent in the way that you are looking at these issues if you are going to work with EFT. And then it's a delight to see things are fading away. So I think that's my most important mission to say.
Do you want to give information about how people can reach you, how they can find you to sign up for sessions, and any things that you offer?
Yes, you can sign up through my Facebook site that's called Responsive. Then you get contact information that you can reach me on telephone, or I also can do sessions on Skype or whatever you like for the internet. And I live in Norway, so but there I have the telephone number and the email address. I think it's there. My telephone number is the best way of connecting to me, I think. I can give offers when people are telling me what they want. I think then I can give a good offer and some sessions.
And people can contact you from anywhere in the world. It's okay.
Yes. In the internet time, we can. I'm also older, but I can fix the internet, and it's a safe spot to be because I'm working as gentle on the internet as I do almost more gentle, because it's so far away from the person. So that's very important. When I have sessions face to face, physical face to face, it's easier to see how people react. But when you are on like this, like Zoom or something, you have to engage carefully then. And the sessions are approximately up to 2 hours. Over that, you are exhausted as a client.
Sure, I can imagine. Okay.
Yeah.
I have one last question for you, Stina. I don't know if you have any more questions, but how cold does it get in Tinset?
It's it can be, this year we have had the -30, almost below -30, some periods. It's not like a month. A week for 2 weeks, it can be really, really cold. And it's during the December, January, when it's the light is shorter, the days are shorter, then it can be like this. And I have experienced 52 degrees below zero. So, so
Oh my God.
but we are living in a place in Norway when you know what to do, you are prepared for it. It sounds very cold, but if you put enough clothes on, and if you are doing the safe things, you can't go like, there are no cars on the road when it's very cold. So you have to be careful. That's the way. And you put your water pipe very low in the earth, you make sure that you have fireplace and you have wood enough to keep the warm inside you. You are prepared. And when it's so cold, it's very beautiful. And it's a very beautiful time of the year, but we are very happy when the spring is coming.
Sure.
We don't love the cold, but we take cautions and we try to love the sights when it's very beautiful.
I'm complaining in Chicago, the coldest it gets is like we actually just had like 30 below.
30 below
Mm-hmm.
in Chicago as well. That's cold. Yeah.
Very cold.
Is it like a humid air then, or is it dry?
I feel like it depends, because if there's snow on the ground and ice, it's very humid.
Yeah.
But I feel like if there isn't, it can be dry.
Yeah.
But this time around we had snow and ice and it felt humid, but it was really cold.
Yes, that's really cold. When it depends on the humid in the air. We have dry air, so that doesn't feel, it is cold, but when you have humid on top of it, I think it's way more cold with you than here.
Well, it's to the point where like the skin like feels like it burns.
Yeah.
So that's not fun. I love cold and I love the winter, but I don't like that frigid like it hurts. I don't like the painful cold.
And you have had extreme cold now this winter?
We did have like a few, like maybe 3 or 4 days in a row, and then it stopped. So thank goodness.
But it's not usual. It's unusual weather at
You
your
know,
place.
what happens is sometimes there's like Arctic air that
Yeah.
dips,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it does dip all the way down to Chicago. We're far up, I guess far up north enough so that the Arctic, sometimes that wave gets us, maybe once a year. Something, it's not that common.
But when it comes, yes, you can feel it. Yeah.
Yes, and we don't have the beautiful wool clothing that you guys have in Norway. When I was there, I was shocked at Stina was telling me, "Oh, you can buy wool underwear," and I was like, "What?" No, because wool here in the US is very itchy. I don't even like wearing wool sweaters. He's like, "No, we have socks, we have undergarments," and I was like, and it's beautiful wool, like it's soft. So I was very shocked and jealous that you guys have that. We don't have that here.
But it's been developing different kinds of wool clothing, because that's the best thing to wear when it's so cold over time. So and it's been developed for not itching over years as well. When I was younger, my mother knits me all wool sweaters. I was itching all the time, and like like trousers. So I know how exactly how it is. But it's been developing this industry as well.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much for joining this podcast. It was so lovely to have you on this episode.
Oh yes. I'm honored. I'm honored to see you both, and you are so wise. You two, you are so
Thank you.
wise. Everything you have is so thought through, and you have also the experience that you are practitioners yourself, and you do this this inviting us to and you to give out for people. That's very, very. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we're so honored to have you on here as well.
Thank you for listening to Vision Chat. You can find more about us at visionofprofoundhealing.com, where we offer readings, courses, and classes.